It was a warm Sunday afternoon, and the town market was crowded. The smell of fresh fruit, roasted corn, and cotton candy mingled with the noise of people trading. Amid laughter and loud voices, a boy of just 10 years old ran between the stalls, holding a small red ball. Suddenly, amid the commotion, he disappeared. No one saw where he went. His mother was in despair, calling out his name countless times, but the boy didn't respond. The entire market mobilized, but there was no sign of him. The police were called. They searched for days, months, even years, but the disappearance became a mystery without answers. 18 years passed. The fair continued to take place in the same location, but the story of the missing boy was told as an urban legend. Many believed he had been kidnapped, others that he had simply run away, until, in a traveling circus that arrived in the city, a chilling detail emerged. While feeding the lions, one of the handlers found something unexpected in the mouth of one of the animals. It was a child's shirt, torn, but still recognizable. The zookeeper stood frozen, staring at the piece of fabric. The pattern was simple but striking, blue and red stripes, just like the one the boy wore the day he disappeared at the fair. The news spread quickly. Within hours, police arrived at the circus, accompanied by curious onlookers who crowded around the colorful tent. The circus owner, visibly nervous, tried to explain that the lions had been purchased from another show years ago and had never displayed anything unusual. But the atmosphere became even more tense when one of the investigators, while examining the surroundings of the cage, found old marks on the floor, as if something had been buried there a long time ago. The audience, previously excited by the circus's arrival, now watched in silence, filled with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Some whispered, "Was the boy devoured? What if this circus hides much bigger secrets?" Meanwhile, the boy's elderly mother was called to inspect the garment. As she held the shirt with trembling hands, tears streamed down her face. She had no doubt, it's my son's. At that moment, a chill ran down the spine of everyone present. The investigators decided to search every corner of the circus. Flashlights cut through the darkness behind the tents, and sniffer dogs circled among rusty cages and trailers. The atmosphere was heavy, as if every object might hide a secret. It was then that a police officer found something behind the lion's den, a small wooden box buried shallowly. Inside were old photographs, newspaper clippings about missing children, and, to everyone's astonishment, broken toys. The tension mounted. The circus owner denied everything, but his voice trembled. He said he had inherited the show from his father, who in turn had inherited it from his grandfather. A dark legacy, perhaps. "This is no coincidence," one of the investigators muttered, leafing through the clippings. "This circus has been in every town where children have disappeared in recent decades." A deathly silence fell over the tent. The boy's mother, pale, watched from afar, barely able to stand. Suddenly, one of the lions roared strangely, banging against the bars. The keepers tried to restrain it, but something seemed to be bothering it, shining light into the back of the cage. They noticed something even more disturbing: bones, partially buried in the dirt floor. The entire circus turned into an investigation scene. The bones were removed from the cage and immediately sent for analysis. The entire town was in shock. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some said the boy had been sacrificed in some macabre ritual. Others that the circus was hiding a criminal network that used the shows as a front. That night, the police questioned all the employees. Many seemed frightened, others claimed to know nothing. But one of the oldest keepers, a man with a tired look and calloused hands, seemed to be carrying a heavy burden. After hours of silence, he relented. "You don't know what you're doing," he said hoarsely. "This circus has always had a curse. Ever since my grandfather's time, children have been disappearing wherever we go. No one has ever proven anything, but we all know." The investigators pressed him, and the man revealed something even more chilling. According to him, the lions were no ordinary animals. They were fed something that should not be revealed, as if the spectacle itself depended on it to survive. Meanwhile, an examination of the shirt revealed that the marks on the fabric were consistent with bites. But not recent. This meant the shirt had been trapped with the lion for many years. The boy's mother, hearing every detail, burst into tears. But amidst her despair, she asked a question that chilled everyone present. If that shirt was with the lion all this time, then where is my son's body? The lead investigator looked around, took a deep breath, and replied, maybe. He never died. Those words, maybe he never died, fell like lightning among them all. The mother looked up, her teary eyes now shining with an almost impossible hope. Investigators began combing through the circus's old records. They discovered that in the exact same year the boy disappeared, the troupe had hired a new helper, a mysterious, undocumented young man who lived behind the scenes and rarely appeared in public. Even stranger, this boy was never seen outside the circus, and no one knew his true origins. They just said he grew up there. Intrigued, the police asked to speak with him. The circus owner hesitated, stalled, but eventually gave in. The young man was brought in. He was now about 28 years old, with disheveled hair and a distant look in his eyes, as if he were carrying secrets he'd never told anyone. When his mother saw him, her legs trembled. His nose, the shape of his eyes. It was impossible not to recognize him. "My son?" she whispered, bringing her hand to her mouth. The boy, confused, stared at her. Absolute silence fell over the canvas. But before he could answer, the circus owner shouted, "No! He's not who you think. This boy belongs to the circus. He always has." The voice echoed like a roar of despair as police officers approached to contain the situation. The silence inside the tent was suffocating. The boy looked at the woman as if something inside him was trying to awaken, but at the same time a shadow of confusion filled his eyes. He murmured, touching his chest. "I remember a fair." A red ball. The mother collapsed to her knees, crying. It was the detail no one knew but her. Her son was carrying a small red ball the day he disappeared. The officers looked at each other. The lead investigator stepped forward. "This boy was raised here. The circus took him from you." The circus owner, desperate, shouted, "You don't understand. He's the key! Without him, the circus is over." At that moment, the lions roared in unison as if responding to the man's words. The lights flickered, and for a moment it seemed as if the entire canvas would collapse. The boy placed his hands on his head, as if something were burning in his mind. "They made me forget," he said, staggering. "But I remember you taking me into the cage. I remember the fire, the voices." The watching crowd gasped. With every word, it became clear that the disappearance had not been an accident, but part of something far more macabre. The circus owner tried to run, but was restrained by the police. Before being taken away, he screamed like a madman. "He won't survive out there. He belongs to them." And he pointed to the lions, which were violently beating against the bars. The police dragged the circus owner out of the tent while he roared and threatened everyone with meaningless words. The lions roared terrifyingly, as if sensing the loss of something that belonged to them. The boy fell to his knees before his mother. She hugged him, oblivious to the commotion around him. He cried like a child, and little by little, memories returned, the fair, the smell of cotton candy. His mother's hand lost in the crowd. The investigations revealed the horror. For generations, the circus had used missing children in dark rituals. Believing this gave the performances strength and magnetism. The boy had been spared, but conditioned to forget who he was to serve the spectacle. With the owner arrested and the secrets revealed, the circus was closed for good. In the final scene, the mother walked with her now adult son through the city streets. Though the lost years could never be recovered, she held his hand as if she had rediscovered a part of her soul she believed dead. The boy, looking at the sky, murmured, "I no longer belong to them. I belong to life." And for the first time in 18 years, he smiled.